Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to have you guys on. I know there will be some more people jumping on, but these two amazing gals are donating their time to us during this super busy month of August where we have the $5,000 bonus opportunity with Going Diamond. How many are doing that? Raise your hand. Who's going Diamond this month? Let's do it. Yeah, I love that. I love it. Okay, so tonight we're just going to talk a few minutes. I'm just going to let these girls energize us. Connor, I'm going to let you go first just because now you're muted, my friend. Connor, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, can't see you.
Now you can't see me?
You all see? Oh, there you are.
Okay, can you see me?
You know what? There's two Connors. You must have your laptop on too.
Oh my gosh, I'm not new to this. Okay, now is it working?
Don't you love how the old lady knows more about it than just little young I love it. I totally love it. Okay, so Connor, I'm just going to let you share your story a little bit. So I'm going to say just a second about Connor. So we met at conference. Was it conference?
Yep, conference.
Yeah. So we were sitting up in VIP, and I was saving seats for a couple of people, and they ended up sitting somewhere else. And Connor came up next to me. She's like, "Can I sit here?" And I'm like, "Yes." And we've been fast friends since then. She's like the sweetest, kindest, most energetic girl you've ever met in the world. But last night you went to the One Team One Mission. Is that right?
Yes, in Sioux Falls with the Duns. It was so amazing.
Yes, I'm so excited to hear about it. So first I wanted you to tell just a little bit about your story, like what it looked like before you were doing it works. Tell them how old you are, just kind of a little bit about your journey.
Okay. Well, like Deb said, my name is Connor. I'm Presidential Diamond. I've been with It Works for 15 months. I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I'm 24 years old. Before It Works, it was crazy ride. I'm actually a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I've been sober for 4 years, which is crazy to me. I never thought that would be possible. 9 months or so after I got out of treatment, I found out I was pregnant and expecting a child, and I was so scared. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's a little human inside of me. Like, I have to keep this person alive. And I think my biggest worry at the time, so this was all before It Works, obviously, but my biggest worry was how I was going to take care of her financially. I knew that I could love her, and I knew that I could raise her. I knew I could take all of that, take care of all of that, but I did not know how I was going to afford diapers, how I was going to afford formula, like just all the basic necessities you need as a new mom or just a mom in general to raise a baby. And so I was, at the time when I was pregnant, I was working at a bank as a teller, and I was only working 4 hours a day, so that's like even less than part-time. And my whole pregnancy, I think every time that I had like a breakdown or a meltdown and just bawled my eyes out was when my boyfriend would be like, "So what are you going to do for a job? Are you going to go back to school?" Because I had been kicked out of college. And are you going to go back to school? Are you going to get a better job? Or what's the plan here? Like, we need a plan. And I was just petrified because I knew I would not focus at all if I went back to school while I was pregnant. And I didn't want to get another job because then I'd be working 2 jobs, and I just didn't want to do that. I was being stubborn. And so I just kept putting it off. And so skip ahead a little bit. I had my little girl, and things with my boyfriend got really rocky. And so I didn't want to put her in daycare. It was the last thing I wanted to do. But, my maternity leave was coming up, and I had to decide what the heck I was going to do. And thankfully, my parents have a business in the city that we live. And so I pretty much begged them. I was like, "Can I please just work for you guys? Can I please bring Presley to work with me? Like, I will work as much as you need me to, do whatever you need me to, just as long as Presley doesn't have to be in daycare." Mm-hmm. And so thankfully, Presley's never been in daycare. But before It Works, it wasn't like we were living a fabulous lifestyle. I had to go to work with her every morning. We oftentimes worked late so I could bring in extra hours. And we were living paycheck to paycheck. And there's multiple times where I'd be like, "Mom, can you go buy groceries for me? Like, can we go get diapers together? Like, someday I'll pay you back." I don't know when, but someday. So during that time, I met Carrie Bauer, who was an Ambassador Diamond. and her boyfriend, now fiance, and my boyfriend at the time were playing football together, and that's how Carrie and I met. And she, like, every time she'd come to the game, she had lime green and black on. And I was like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, she must really like those colors. And slowly but surely, Carrie and I became friends, and she had me on Facebook, and I noticed she was selling these wraps. I was like, what the heck is this girl doing? Like, she's not making money with these things. Like, I was a total skeptic. Half of my family is cosmetologist, and I was like, there's no way, like, I would know about a wrap thing in like one of the spas or the hair salons if they were like actually a thing. So she's not making any money with this. Well, little did I know she was. And so that next year, Presley's first year and my first year being a mom, I watched her and I just was like, how is she doing this? Like, I want to do that. But yet I didn't think I believed in it. And so a whole year went by, and it wasn't until March, like the last day of March 2015, first day of April, because it was technically midnight. And I finally, after telling Carrie like 5-6 different times that I'd join our team and then back out, I finally called her up one night and I said, Carrie, I need to do this. Don't let me back out, because it was just right after my daughter turned 1. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, like, dance lessons are going to come soon. And I don't have money for that. And I so badly wanted to have my daughter in dance and take her places. And so that's when I was like, Carrie, you can't let me back out. Presley's 1 now. Blake and I still aren't together. And I need to figure something out, because I'm not working for my parents for the rest of my life. As nice as it was to be able to take Presley with me, it wasn't happening. And so I joined Carrie, and basically before I started, I made a decision and told myself, either I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump all in, feet soaking wet and go all out for it, or I'm not going to do it all, because if I jump in half it and then fail, that's just another failure to mark down on my chalkboard, and I just wasn't going to have that. And so my family was pretty much totally skeptical about it, told me no multiple times, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I just kept going, and that first month I promoted to Ruby and got a $1,000 bonus. And then the next month, that was when I caught the vision, and I got my first paycheck. I was like, wow, this isn't Monopoly money. This is real. And I said, okay, I'm not going Emerald. I'm going Diamond. And Kira was like, well, she was like, she got my confidence up, and she's like, let's just make sure we hit 1 before we hit the next one. I was like, no, like, what is Emerald? I'm not going Emerald. I'm going Diamond. I'm getting that $10,000 bonus, because I'm going to prove to everyone I can do this, and I'm going to change my life. And Presley deserves the world, and I'm going to give it to her. And so I went Diamond my second month. My third month, I went double Diamond. My fourth month, I was boxed in for triple, but didn't promote. And then fifth month went triple. And then about 2 months later in November, it was like 8 months then, I went presidential. And I said I was going presidential before I got on the cruise. And that's just kind of how it went. And it was fast. And I still look back and I can't believe I've done it. And then in this past May, I found out I was a top 150 earner. And it's just crazy. And it's just been a total blessing. Like, God was really looking out for me.
So how do you think you built most? Like Facebook? I know you do Instagram too, right? Tell me how you think you've gotten a lot of your teams.
I have built actually completely social media. So Facebook and Instagram have been my main business building sources, because I'm a giant chicken when I get in front of people. And I was like, I can't do this if I have to do like parties and that. And I told Carrie that. She's like, oh, don't worry. Like, you don't have to always do parties. Like, you can do this over social media. And so I've done everything Facebook and Instagram completely.
So do you think on Facebook, do you post twice a day, or what would you say?
I would say I'm posting, like all day, every day. Now, when I'm posting, it's not just like before and after, $500 bonus, before and after. It's like I mix it up. I make sure. I told one of my new distributors this morning, I was like, when I post, I'm always posting with my business in mind, but I don't always have to have like a product post or like hey, come join I need you on my team. I'm always keeping in mind what's going to attract people to this business. Like, I'm so excited to be spending my morning with Presley, and we're cooking pancakes this morning and not having to get out of bed early. Just things like that. And people are like, how do you get to do that? And I'm like, well, it works. It's done that for me. If I had a normal job, we'd be up and at 'em out the door, drop Presley off at daycare, and that's.
Yeah. And so like you even said with Carrie Bauer that you were following her, you watched what she had on. You
Yes.
watched what her clothes were. So when people
Yep.
say, I don't want to wear a shirt or whatever, even just wearing the black and green,
Yeah.
is so important to just be visible for people to know.
Yeah, like really keeping it consistent, because Presley, go with Grandpa. Okay. Because I know I was the same way. I was like, I hate the color line green. I'm not wearing that cheesy shirt. But then I started realizing, I was like, okay, it's the beginning of my business. I'm a little nervous to blitz people, but if I have a shirt on that says it works, people are probably going to ask me, well, what works?
Exactly.
And so then that way, if they started the conversation, then I could carry it with them. And then I wasn't so like, oh, here's my blitz card, like worried, nervous type thing.
And so how do you think, do you message people too? You do like a lot of messaging? You do that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I always say, like, posting is part of your business, but it's not everything. You have to put in the work behind the posting. And so, like, everybody that's liking and commenting on my post, I'm, messaging them. Definitely, I make a list of people who have ever shown interest in the business, who have ever showed interest in products, and I'm constantly following up with them, messaging them, saying, hey, where are you at? We have this going on this month. Are you ready to do this with me? And just, definitely not just posting and messaging, I say go hand in hand together.
But as they say, fortune's in the follow-up. It definitely is. And it took you a year before you were really on board. And even then you were still like, I think I'm going to back out.
Yeah. I told her, I remember exactly where I was sitting and where I was and who was with me. And I called her and I was like, you have to just sign me up. Like, here's my stuff. Do it for me. And I looked at Presley's dad that, like, right after that, I was like, I think I'm going to puke. What did I just do?
Yeah.
But after I was signed up, it was like this nervous excitement and I was ready to go.
Yeah. And I know we have a double diamond on my team, not personally enrolled. And I was talking to her about her enroller. And she said, if I could have said one thing, I wish she would have pushed me harder. Mm-hmm. She said, people try to not be pushy. And she's like, you can not be pushy, but you can have that sense of urgency. Like, I need you. Like you said, I need you on my team. I want you on my team. We've got to do this together. The wording is so important.
Yeah. And one thing I do with wording when I post is, like, I actually make sure not to say need. I'm always like, I want to help 3 people, or I want, like, just basically, like, help people, make people realize that, they're going to see that you want to actually help them and you're being genuine about it instead of, oh, she's awfully being greedy for needing this and needing that all the time type thing.
And like they say, when you make it about them, people listen. When you make it about you, they don't.
Their ears off, Might as well just stop talking.
Well, it's like your lips are moving, but no one's hearing you. So you make it stop. So that's so true. So tell me, do you feel like you've had a roadblock at all ever in your business, or like a slowdown or anything that you've started to think, gosh, what do I need to do differently?
Yeah, I would say that definitely after Presley, you need to go with Grandpa. Okay, sorry. I would say one of my I've had many roadblocks. Just because you get to the top doesn't mean you don't have roadblocks anymore or have problems. When I was promoting so fast and, like, promoting month after month, I was like, okay, triples next. And all of a sudden it didn't happen. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just let everybody down. And I, like, started bawling. I was like, Carrie, I didn't do it. Da, 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 da. And then on the drive home, I thought to myself, I was like, knock it off. Like, did you let other people down or did you let yourself down? And so I let myself down and I was kind of hard on myself, but I was like, look at what you've done. Look at how far you've come and look at what you're continuing to do. And I knew in that moment, I was like, I can't be hard on myself, because I was like, maybe I should just stop, like, take a break. And I had talked with Presley's dad, who's now my boyfriend again, and we talked the next day. He's like, why would you stop? Like, look how far you've come. Like, look what you have done. And so that was one of my roadblocks. There were the first times when I'd have DTs sign up and then all of a sudden they'd just, like, disappear on me. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Yeah. And then I realized it's not what necessarily I did wrong. They just weren't ready, or they were too scared to say they were nervous, when if they would have just talked to me, I probably could have helped them. So I feel like there's roadblocks, but it's just about how you overcome them.
Exactly. And you keep going. You didn't think, I didn't get to triple, so I'm giving up on myself. I'm giving
Right.
up. I'm just going to slow down. Instead, it fueled your fire, really.
Yeah, and I looked at the bright side of it. I was like, okay, I didn't hit my promotion in July, but I was all boxed in. I was like, it's going to happen in August. Like, everything's ready to go. Let's do this. We're promoting like 5 days early.
Yeah, exactly. That is so cool.
You just got to look at the positive side of every situation.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to have Jeanie talk a little bit here. If you're on, please mute your end. Just mute your microphone so that we don't hear all of your background music. But we're going to talk a minute to Jeanie, and then I want to get Connor back on too, and I want you to talk about the One Team Mission and kind of give us some exciting things about what's going on and what powerhouse them. So, Jeanie, where are you? I've lost you here.
Hey.
There, I hear you. Okay, so this is my sweet friend, Jeanie. I'm just going to let her tell her story because she is amazing. I love her. I love her mom. And I don't even know how we met, but I just adore her. She is such a gem. So if you can just kind of tell your story, Jeanie.
Okay. Hey, y'all. I am Jeanie Mcwhorter, and I am from Georgia. So I'm from Rome, Georgia. Most people don't know what that is. It's a smaller town, about an hour and a half from Atlanta. And prior to It Works, life looked totally different. I have identical twins that are 2 years old. They're my whole world. They're little girls.
Darling girls. Oh my God.
If I say so myself. But they're my total reason why for It Works. But rewind, not fast forward, back to how I got into the company. I signed with Ashley Olive, who is also an identical twin mom, and that's how I found her on Instagram. And this was before she was in the business, actually.
And so it's a hashtag thing, really, is how you found her, was hashtagging.
Yes. I found her through the hashtag identical twins, and she found Ashley Hughes through the hashtag identical twins.
So hashtags are huge, you guys.
Yeah. So we both found each other that way. And for me, I was angry prior to It Works. I was working about literally 5, 6, 12s a week. I was usually working about 5-day shifts and 1 night shift, and I was in school full time still. Then my husband, is 2.5 years younger than me, and so our plan was he had to finish school, which meant I was the sole income. And then when we were pregnant, we had just the worst pregnancy. I was on bed rest the first 12 weeks, and then they told us we miscarried, and then everything went good again. I went back to work, and then at about 23 weeks, they told us they lost baby A's heartbeat, and we went in to schedule our D&C because they thought she was toxic to baby B. It was just a nightmare, and then her heartbeat was back, and so we were just all over the board. And throughout my entire pregnancy, I still kept working. Besides the last few weeks, I was working just full time around the clock. And my girls were born, they were such miracle babies, and so that's how we started connecting. And like I said, I was working around the clock. Literally, we're blessed with my mom being able to come to our house and keep our girls. But
one of the girls
watching around August or September, it's about August. I was watching. I never liked a single It Works post.
It was basically,
when she really caught my eye, she messaged me because I was liking the picture.
Jeanie,
Hold on.
Deb, you should make sure everyone's muted.
How do I do that, girlie? What am I?
Go to, I believe it's participants, and then, oh wait.
I thought it was manage participants too, but I don't find it. I mean, I found that, but everybody mute your lines. Just click
in the bottom left-hand corner. Sorry, Jeanie.
Yeah, sorry, but I was driving me crazy too. On the left-hand corner, I see some people are not muted. Please, please, please mute, because I'm not able to. Sorry to interrupt y'all, but okay, maybe we're good now. All right, Jeanie, on with your story. Sorry.
Okay. So Ashley had reached out to me around August and just let me know that I had the personality to rock this. And, I told her that, no offense, I think you have really cute kids, but your business is a scam. And I was that person. And, so I kept going, and I was literally working so much. I had to leave. I got promoted quickly as a brand new nurse, which was a blessing because it's the only way we survived. But I was literally leaving the house at 4:30 a.m. every single morning, and I would get home about 6 p.m. And then I had homework, and the girls would go to bed, and then I would just repeat it over and over again. And then I was also working a night shift. So some days I would come in and I would sleep for about 2 hours and I'd go back into work. And that was just our reality, because that we had no other option but to struggle. And it wasn't because we did anything wrong. We were both in college, you know, we were both doing on paper what gives you that good old American dream. But I always felt like we were doing so much to get ahead and we were 2 steps behind. It didn't matter what we did. It felt like we were just, you know, enslaved by our own limitations. And so I kept watching her journey. And I remember in December, she quit her job. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's living my dream life. Like, I want that. But I didn't do anything about it. I just said I wanted it, you know, and I was just watching. And then Ashley Hughes had actually written a status about how she was so thankful to have been able to spend the time with Milo while he was alive, and, you know, her baby that passed away, and that It Works gave her that opportunity. And I remember just coming home and crying, because I was like, if something happened to my girls right now, I wouldn't even look back and be able to say that I was there. You know, I was there in my heart because I was providing and doing what I had to do, but I wasn't there being their mommy. And I knew I would beat myself up. I knew that they didn't understand. You know, all they saw is that mommy is always gone. And that ate me alive. And I came home from work one day and I could tell that the girls, something was up, because they were about to start crawling. And Ben and my mom were like, oh, look, Rain's crawling. And I'm like freaking out. And so they totally were faking it. I had missed them crawl for the first time. They were trying to act like I hadn't. And I just remember it destroyed me. It just ate me alive. And I was like, nope, no more. I literally, after months and months, Ashley followed up with me like every month. And I would tell her no. And then I started doing the whole, well, next month. Check in with me next month. And that moment, it just hit me, and I signed up and I was like, let's do this. I'm ready to do this. There's got to be more to life than this. And so I did. I signed up. We had like $139 and some change in our account, and I signed up. I didn't even care. I was like, I'm going to do it. And I just knew I needed to sell my wraps when they came in. And so when I decided to go in, I went all in. And what kind of defeated me for a moment was my mom at the time, who now is in love with this business, and Ben, they were like, they didn't support it because I was so busy, and that's all they could see. Yeah. And I was like, guys, give me a few months and let me show you I'm doing something good. And so after about 2.5 weeks, I hadn't signed a single soul. I was posting, I was messaging, I did not sign a soul. And I remember, somebody was like, are you just gonna quit? I was like, are you kidding me? Why? No, it took me almost 7 months to dive into this. Why would I expect that I could come in and wave a magic wand and all these people would join me? I was like, no, I'm not quitting. And so I kept going, and literally within a week and a half, I was Ruby. It turned overnight because I was like, I'm not going to fail. And after that, my second month, I went diamond, then went emerald. My third month, I went double. He went diamond. My fourth month, I went triple. He went double. In my fifth month, I went prez, and he went triple.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
It was some interesting months, and I can remember after I went diamond, my mom and Ben still didn't see the vision. They just didn't get it, and I was like, guys, I promise you, because I saw it. I was like, oh my, we have our hands on something so good, and I know y'all don't realize it. But in time, you will. And literally about a month later, my mom joined the company and has been working it and loves it ever since. But with our journey, the best thing about it was I was able to be home when the girls walked for the first time. So I missed them crawl, but I was able to be there and, see them walk. And any mom that's missed out on a milestone like that, or had to know the feeling of dropping your baby at daycare, not being able to make a gain, like that's the mom I work my business every single day for, because I've been there and I felt that heartbreak that you feel when you're trying so hard, but you just don't see it in, the return. And now I see it bigger than ever. That's what I tell people. Every bad day is never gonna even be able to compare to the feeling I felt when I was home to see them walk. So I'm going to always continue to fight for them. Right. About 8 months in, I left my job, and I've been home ever since. I've been home for about a year.
That is so amazing. So did you also build social media, do you think, mostly?
So Ashley, Ashley's also a rap girl. She likes parties. In the beginning, I didn't do parties. And I built to triple diamond, just solely social media. And Ashley and I sat down, and our stability wasn't. I was enrolling a lot of people, but I was bringing on people that didn't quite catch the vision. I mean, I've hit roadblocks every which way, and I'll get there. But so I started implementing wrap parties, team wrap parties. And really, I feel like it took our stability and it just changed it. It made it to where if you're in a rut and you can meet with one person and they can see your passion, they immediately can feel it. Like you're not faking it. They know that this is real. And that's a game changer when you're in one of those, you know, when you're stuck or you're feeling like you're not signing anybody. And so it was then that I started implementing wrap parties.
And I think both for me, so many similar things for you and Connor both, but I feel like you both are no excuses people. So like today, a day in the life of Jeanie, tell them what all you've done today.
Girl.
Look at this busy mom of twins and listen to what she's done.
Yeah, so I get up, the girls wake up about 9, so I always make myself get up about 6:37. And I basically catch up my messages every day. That's just my moment to enjoy my coffee, you know, take my products. And to me, I've realized it's so easy to implement a product post when you're actually taking the products.
Exactly.
You know, if you're not in love with them, you're probably not selling much of them, because to me, nobody is going to cross me on if they should take greens or not. I'm going to be able to put them in their place. I'm going to be able to show them when I take mine. And so I always put a post out there. And then when my little girls wake up, we are just full speed ahead. I mean, one of the blessings is that you can fit this in at any time. That's why I tell people we're all going to be busy, but we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And you can make things happen if you want them to, if you take those limitations off yourself. Because it would be really easy for me to say, is it convenient for me to work during nap time? No, I would love to just lay there and breathe. But at the same time, working that hour of nap time allows me to be home with them 24/7. And so there's just no comparison. Anyways, we did that. And then I met with a few girls on my team. And then I had a meeting with one of my girls that I'm talking to about the business. And then I came back. I worked my follow-ups. I'm a huge follow-up girl. I'm a big follow-upper. I tell people, I even reach out and say, girl, listen, I have to let you know, we are going to be old, gray-headed, and grandmas before I quit messaging you. You would rock this opportunity, and I just let them know I'm just thinking about you. And I really have learned to incorporate that into my day. It's no longer, I don't feel like it's a job. I feel like it's just my life. Like, my life, Sherry said, my life's a blitz, and it is. And then I had some team come over early, about 6, and then 7 o'clock, my leadership meeting started, and it ended about 10 minutes before I jumped on this Zoom. So we've just been going all day, but it's great. Everybody brought their kids here. You can just make it work if you want to make it work.
That's exactly right. You can make it work if you want to make it work. That's the best advice ever. So when people say, the other thing, before I forget what I wanted to say, was both you and Connor were, another theme is that you watched, both of you, for a really long time. You had people following up with you and you said no, you said no, you said no. People think that they message someone and they either A, don't respond, or B, say no, and they're like completely defeated and nobody's responding. And look what is in your inbox, you people. When you say you have messaged somebody and they haven't read it, or they read it and they don't answer, or they say no. Jeanie said no, or maybe next month. So if you don't follow up with her, you're not going to get a Jeanie or a Connor. It's not going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah. In December, I flat out just said, listen, you don't need to message me. I have a real job.
Right? Oh, my gosh.
And so to me, I never let that, so many people feel defeated. And I'm like, why? You are one step ahead. Every message you send is one step closer to changing your life. Right. You never know when you're going to be the answer to somebody's prayers. And so to me, I don't even view it. So many will say, well, I don't want to annoy people, or I worry that I'm bothering people. And I'm not somebody to spam. I really, really teach my team to take the time to care about what we're sending. So to me, I don't view it as annoying. In fact, I view it as doing a disservice to them if I'm not going to share that opportunity, because every single day you're going to meet potentials if you open your eyes to them. You're going to meet somebody that has been waiting for the answer to their prayers to give them the confidence to walk into the gym. You know, you're going to meet somebody that my hair fell out after I quit breastfeeding, and nobody else would have known that was a huge insecurity for me. But what if I can be that answer to somebody else where they don't have to feel like I did for those months until I found this product? And so to me, if your eyes are open to it, when you're talking, you know, even at Walmart, one day I made it and somebody said they couldn't sell their wraps. And so I made a point to go to Walmart, and I was not going to leave until I sold 4 wraps. It was my goal. I was a presidential already, and I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to sell them to anybody I know, and I'm not leaving Walmart until I sell them. And I was there for about 2 hours, and I sold all 4 wraps. I told people, that is $50 an hour. I went to school, to college to get a degree, and would never make that. Like, if you want it, you can make it happen. If you want to change, you just have to make the choice. And once the choice is made, you have endless opportunity.
And so many times people say, I can't sell a wrap. I've never sold a wrap. And I say to them, have you asked?
Mm-hmm.
So many times people are like, well, then don't say you can't sell a wrap. You haven't even tried. I mean, you've got to open your mouth and talk. And I always say, offering this opportunity and these products is my daily random act of kindness. I am helping somebody, whether or not they receive it. If I was handing them bananas and they're like, I don't like bananas. Okay. So they gave them back to me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. They don't like bananas, but it's my random act of kindness. I'm going to give that to you. It's the same thing with this privilege of being part of this amazing company with products that are affordable and that really work.
Yep. And that's the thing I feel like you can do for yourself is believe in the products and believe in yourself. Because when you believe in those two things and you know that, one, you're worth it and that these products are that incredible and they're that unique, we have something so good, there's no amount of no's that are going to defeat you. You know, if you're going to hit struggle, oh my gosh. I mean, I've had full triple diamonds quit, stuff and cancel accounts. I've had a double walk away. And I mean, when you do, you just make a new game plan. Mine was to make sure I never lost my rank, because when you lose a big leg like that, I was like, okay, time to saddle up and get to work. And that's what I did. And I fought for it, because if you're not willing to fight for your dreams, who do you expect to fight for them? Right. And so to me, to know that you have something so good, that's the best thing you can do for your mindset.
Exactly. I love it. I love your energy. Oh, you guys are just filling my tank up completely. So Connor, talk to me just a little bit about the One Team, One Mission you went to yesterday. Fill Jeanie and I up on all of this and all this.
It was so amazing. First off, I have ADD. I'm like, okay, hey, there goes a squirrel, and I'm distracted. But last night, we were sitting in the front row, and I think my jaw was dropped, because I just, stared at them the whole time, because everything they were saying, it was just like, why didn't I think of that? It's so simple. They just, they just fired us up and lit our fires back up, and they told their story, and then went through all the ranks of the business and just how it all starts with Ruby.
And you're talking about Joel,
literally what?
Joel and Stephanie, right?
Yes, Joel and Stephanie
Dunn. So
yep, I should probably say that. Sorry. Yeah, Joel and Stephanie Dunn were in Sioux Falls last night, and so they were, they went through the party pad type thing, and they went through each rank, but then they brought it right back down. Even when Presidentials were all up there, and then Carrie was up there, and Crystal Pearl as Ambassador Diamonds, it all went back down to Ruby. Corporate has this amazing business plan laid out for us, and it's literally just those 3 simple steps, your 3DTs, your 4 LCs, your 3DTs, and then Ruby. And those Rubies just build, and they just really laid that out for people and made them realize that, for this diamond bonus this month, don't focus on the 24 boxes it is to fill, focus on the rubies, and that's going to build you up to diamond. And then Stephanie, at the end, they did a whole extra hour of a question and answer, and she just really went through on how she trains her new distributors and just keeps everything so simple. And, they don't have a magic wand that made them black diamonds. They all started where we were, And it just really opened up my eyes and relit my fire again.
Yay!
Oh.
I knew it would be good. Now, how many people were there, do you suppose?
There was about 450.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It was.
And when you think about their black diamonds, they're like the
Yeah.
top of the company, but they're willing to pour into 450 people, not like 4,000 or 45,000.
No, 450. Like, they came to Sioux Falls, South Dakota to like come to a meeting with us. And it was so cool.
And it's because they believe in you. They believe.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm so glad you said that. Just talking about, when you start this business, or when all of us have started, it's not necessarily that we had belief in ourselves, but for the time period that we couldn't believe in ourselves, because I know I didn't believe in myself when I started this. I mean, my first week, I called Carrie up and I said, I was crying. I was like, I can't go, Ruby. No one's going to want to join me. Like, I haven't had anybody talk to me for 3 days. And she goes, calm down. Like, it's a business, not a job, and they're going to come. But you have to believe in yourself. But for the time that I wasn't believing in myself, Carrie did believe in me. And, that was everything, because until I had the reassurance of her telling me that I could do this and I could do this. So even if you're brand new to this business and you don't believe in yourself yet, know that your enroller and your upline believes in you, and know that, they want to reached out to you time and time again if they didn't have that little bit of belief in you. Because if Joel and Stephanie can do this business and they can be black diamonds, and I know I can be a black diamond, and I know everybody on this call can be a black diamond.
That's right.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you were bankrupt, if you're a recovering alcoholic like I am, if, you're a single mom, it doesn't matter. You can do this.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. I love, love, love it. So quick, I said I want to keep you too long. Tell us a good tip or an aha moment, something that sticks in your mind every time somebody says to you, what's an aha moment? What comes to mind immediately?
My aha moment that always comes to mind is never decide if this business is for somebody else or not, because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. There could be, I had a girl actually, I never brought the business up to her because I was like, there's no way she needs this. She started an online boutique. You guys might know it. It's called Philly Flair. And it's one of the largest online boutiques, and she now has stores opened where I live. And it's just like a multi-millionaire dollar business. And I was like, there's no way that she would need extra money, and there's no way she would want to do this because she has something going good for her already. And it was so crazy because a few months after I had told my boyfriend, I was like, no, I'm not asking Laura. Like, she's totally fine. She came to me and she goes, I want to do this. And I was like, I was totally thrown off. I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, the connections she has. And she goes, I know I can tell you this because you understand it. She goes, it's not necessarily that I need it, but there's so many women out there who want to do what I'm doing, but with a boutique and stuff, little stores like that, it's different. But with this business, anybody can do it. And I want to she just basically wanted to give other women the ability to do what she does, just in a different way. And so here's this lady who makes really good money and has a really successful business that she started, but she started It Works because she wanted to help other women. And so just, even if somebody looks like they have it all together or looks like they have it all, they might not. I mean, Joel and Stephanie mentioned last night, they were going bankrupt and filing for bankruptcy, but nobody knew that on the outside because they didn't want anybody to know, so they kept it together as best as they could. And I think she said it wasn't until she went double diamond that she told her story, and then that's just basically when the floodgates opened, because she was open with everybody, and so many people could relate. That's I have 2 aha moments.
Okay.
That's my other one, is just share your story. I'm totally open with my background, and there's I have a lot more to my story, but I totally put it out there, and people are really pulled back, or not pulled back, but they're kind of oh my gosh, I can't believe she just told us that right away, because it's just so raw and real. But the reason why I tell my story is because if I can help that one person, or let that one person relate to me for those 5 seconds, then there's one person that I might have helped. And so just don't be afraid to tell your story, and don't be afraid to tell people where you came from, because that doesn't matter necessarily. It only matters about where you're going. Your past is behind you. Your future is what's ahead of you, and you are in total control of what your future is.
Exactly. Like Cammie Dempsey said at Green Carpet, you cannot look back to go forward, or you're going to trip and you're going to fall. So if you're only looking back like this didn't work, those people aren't working, I can't do it, whatever it is that you're looking back at your history, you're never going to go forward, because you're going to trip and fall for sure. And then you're going to have to pick yourself up, and you're going to be all sad about that. So you got to be looking forward in order to get there. And also when you said that, Connor, that's so true about don't ever assume somebody doesn't need this business. My husband and I he has done well. He owns his own business and he does well. We're not rich. He's done well. I've always worked as a nurse. You don't make a ton of money as a nurse. Jeanie can attest to that. You can get by, but it's not ever going to make you wealthy. So for me, all I really was doing initially was being nice to help Mackenzie out. But what I could see was this. 24 people on a Zoom tonight, all my amazing new friends. I have Connor, this young, vibrant girl who says squirrel because she sees it go, and Jeanie, that I have such I just love you, and I love your mom, and I have all these people in my life. This is why I do this business, is because I love these friends, and I love Nicole Red Door, that I can help achieve her dreams. I can help Michelle Stewart. I can help you people achieve the dreams that you want, and your whys are so important. And if you just keep looking forward, you can make it happen. So I'm here for that reason. That, like Connor said, you never know why somebody needs this business. This is why I need this business. I needed to help other people, because that's what I am. I'm a nurse. I take care of people. And yeah, the money is great. I love that. But honestly, I love the fact that 24 people have decided tonight they wanted to work their business. They want to know what they need to do to change more lives and make their whys the most important thing in front of them, is to go for it. So don't ever judge anybody and say, well, they don't need this. Whether you don't think they don't need the money, maybe they do. I talked to a mom a couple days ago who said, if I could make $50 more a month, that would be everything I need. She has 4 kids. She's a single mom of 4 kids. And she said $50 would make a difference. I was like, oh my gosh, well, we can do that. So seriously, you guys, don't ever discount anybody. Okay, Jeanie, real quick, give us your aha moment that comes to you every time someone asks you that.
Positive affirmations. I'm a girl that rolled her eyes at that. I was like, that can't be like that game. That can't be that much of a game changer. When I say roll her eyes, I'm talking like up until 2 months ago. And I started waking up every day, and I would pray over my business. And then I would literally say out loud, I am a mean distributor signing machine. And when I started changing my mindset, you hear it all the time, change your mindset, change your life. And it is so true. Because instead of looking at what's not working for you or who's not signing with you, focus on that one person that believed in you and trusted you and is sitting there ready to change their life. Instead of saying, well, I've posted 4 times today and I've only gotten 2 messages. Turn it around and say, I've gotten 2 messages from 2 amazing people who I'm about to change their life with these products. Even the way I used to, I would go around my leadership meeting and I would say, okay, guys, what can help you? Like, what can we work on? Not anymore. Now I go around and say, tell me one thing that you are bossing in this business. Like, what is one thing that you're doing that is working? I want to hear it. Because when you change your mind like that negative, you're not subconsciously defeating yourself. And oftentimes I feel like in this business, it's a mind game with yourself.
Yeah.
So true.
When you know you can do it and you know that other people can do it, excuses are always going to be here, but this opportunity won't. And I'm not going to let it pass me by.
That is so right. Oh my gosh, that speaks to my heart. And that's so true. We talk about speak it into existence and claim it and assume that it's going to happen. It's so true. And it's your mindset. It's both of your mindset. And honestly, all of you on here, would you not all like to have enrolled or be enrolling tomorrow a Connor or a Jeanie? because that's all it is one fabulous person can change your business, but not if you don't ask them, and not if you don't follow up, and not if you hear no over and over, and this is a scam or whatever. If you don't keep following up, it's not going to happen. So, oh my gosh, you guys, you did it.
Or the other thing is, if you don't follow up, someone else is going to follow up with them.
That's so true. And if you don't ask, someone else will. So dang, why did I not ask Connor? Because I didn't know her. There's a Connor out there for me. And there's a Jeanie out there for me. And there's a Jeanie and a Connor for all of you guys, but not if you keep it a secret. If you're gonna lock the lips and throw away the key, then you're out. It's peace out, because you've gotta ask. You've gotta ask. Just like I said, when people say I can't sell a wrap. Well, did you ask? If you didn't ask. So go to Walmart and sell those 4 wraps. One last thing I'm going to ask real quick. 80 BV auto ship. Jeanie, do you run an 80 BV auto ship?
I've always ran an 80 BV auto ship at least. And I feel, when I explain the auto shipment, I don't even explain it as something that you're doing extra. It's an investment in yourself. You're investing in you. And to me, 1, you need wraps for this business to work. But 2, if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to fall in love with these products, you are cheating yourself of, once you feel that passion for these products, you take yourself out of the sales business. Because I'm not in the sales anymore. I'm into sharing my passion. And it literally will start selling itself, because when you're a product of the product and and you believe in something, people feel that. And it's a game changer. And if you're not coming in, setting yourself up for success, why would you set yourself up to fail? Why would you set yourself up 2 steps behind? Instead, come in saying, I'm going to do this, and here's what I have to do to cover that. But because I know I'm worth it and I'm made for more, and this opportunity, I'm so deserving, I'm going to invest in myself.
Right. And I bought a business for $99. I'm going to run a business for $100 a month. My husband owns his own business, and I can guarantee you he loses $100 a day when he walks in the door. So if the cost of overhead is $100 essentially between your website and your 80 BV auto ship, it just blows my mind. And I always say, if you don't think that you need these products, buy the wraps, then get 2 boxes of wraps and sell those wraps. So at least it pays for your investment in every month. But if you work your business, you're going to make 5 figures a month or more. Would you not want to do that? You're not going to be able to do it if you don't run an 80 BV auto ship. I appreciate you saying that. Okay, Connor, do you run an 80 BV auto ship?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Like I said, when I started, I couldn't afford diapers. Like, I was every week, Mom, can we go get diapers? And I started getting embarrassed about it. But when I joined this business, the auto shipment scared me. I was like, okay, if I sell a box of wraps, that's $100. That's going to pay for my auto shipment. And that also got me out of my comfort zone to get out there and be like, hey, you need to try a wrap. Or, hey, will you try a wrap for me? It's only $25.
Right.
And like Stephanie said last night, if these products, like if they're not changing your life, then the business probably isn't going to change it either. Like your business probably isn't changing your life either.
Right.
And so just I didn't think I needed these products because like I'm a smaller person. I mean, I got really lucky and didn't get stretch marks from Presley, but I still I still wrap. Like I have my mom pouch, I say, and I use greens every day. They have changed my life. I used to get really bad headaches, and my headaches are gone when I take them. When I don't take them, I have a headache. So there's something for everyone. I use our whole skincare line, hair, skin, and nails. Like my hair is always crazy colors, and hair, skin, and nails has saved my hair. And so just try something. You can switch it up every single month. I always tell my new girls, get a box of wraps because you can sell them for cash, and then get something you can use yourself.
And I hear people say all the time, well, it's $25. Okay, so today I went to get my hair done, and the girl said to me, do you want me to touch up your eyebrows? And I was like, sure. At the end of it, it was $25. People don't even think a thing about it. If you say it, well, it's $25. I say, it's only $25 for you to change your life, this wrap, or you can get 4 for $59. So what's your choice? It's all how you present it. But if you don't ask them, it's not going to happen. So, right? Yeah. I love you both. I love you all so much. But Connor and Jeanie, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you
Thanks
all.
for having us.
Yes, for sure.
Bye.
I'm going to record this and I will send you links so that you can share it with your teams as well. But everybody, high five. Let's go get those diamond bonuses.
Go get them.
Thank you. Love you guys.